Hello and welcome to Casting Rolls, where a bunch of theater nerds and good friends play a little D&D. We're so happy that you've joined us. Take a moment to subscribe to the show. It takes just a click and earns our unending thanks. Drop us a like and leave us a comment, hyping us up for Campaign 2. Our videos are uploaded here on YouTube every Friday, and we have tons of great content to explore. Without further ado, let's go ahead and start the show. Last time, our crew of adventurers traveled into the area of Tuthalimus's maze to capture Indyr's confusion. Entering into this area of confusion, you all experienced a tear in the stream of time and found yourselves in the past of one of your other party members. Kieran found himself inhabiting Ravik as you delved into the Tower of the Maelstrom to challenge the married Albahar to free Ravik's mother from his grasp. Andalus found yourself embodying Bonnie and dealing with the challenges of motherhood, as before a warning about potential raiders led Harold to go check in with the militia as a mysterious figure arrived at your home. Bonnie found herself in Andalus's past, but embodying instead a fisherman named Corvinus, interspersed as well with images or moments where Andalus was training with the light-forged Omanira to fly on mechanical dragons created by Abel Abioye. And finally, Ravik and Lucky working with Yorian to steal a mysterious religious artifact from a rich family in Anervir. As you continue to find yourselves continuing in these challenges, just working to maintain canon, we'll go ahead and dive in first with Kieran, since you had the big moment at the end of the last session where you cast Cone of Cold at Albahar. There is a saving throw, I believe, for that, which is Constitution.
Yes.
Wow.
And
I'm coming out the gate strong with a natural 1 on that saving throw. Let's see. Do you have legendary resistances? You do not. Okay, so
Wow. Nice. Way to go.
He was surprised by the audacity.
Yeah. So you can go ahead and roll damage.
Pulling up the spell so I can see what I roll. And that was
Cone of Cold.
level Cone of Cold.
Yep.
8d8.
8d8.
And I have 4, so I will roll them twice. First round. Pretty good. 8 plus 7 is 15. 22. 30, 38, 43, 47.
47 points of damage. And as it kind of spreads out and hits, you can see like elements of like frost and ice like forming around Albahar's form. And he kind of shakes and like all of the frost and the icicles break off of him. You can tell that it probably didn't do as much damage as you would have liked. As
I was hoping to partially freeze him in place as well. So.
Yeah, as he has resistance to cold. But so it's 20. Okay, cool. All right. So now you can roll initiative, which I think I asked you to do at the end of the last session. But...
yeah, and I got a 17.
17. Okay. Perfect. All right. So as the cone goes off and freezes in the air, first of all, make a perception check as you're looking at Albahar here in the throes of potential conflict.
Perception.
And by potential, I mean
23.
23. Yeah. So in addition, like as he's kind of shaking it off, you can see that like he already has some cuts and like spaces on him where it looks like a fight took place. And looking as well with the 23, you can also see that Ravik's mother has similar cuts, and like those two were apparently fighting against each other before Ravik arrived. And so he's already slightly injured from that. But you get to act again. So with that in mind, what would you like to do?
Let's fire off a lightning bolt.
A lightning bolt. Okay. Oh no. Who did we lose? We lost.
Jace
Jace.
vanished.
So I literally hit the button to leave. That was on. I messed up. I'm very sorry.
Bye. Okay. Lightning bolt is also a Constitution saving throw. Or is it dexterity? It's dexterity. Jesus, I'm rolling like shit. That is a 9. That's going to be a failure.
And this is 8d6. Ooh, ugly.
That was not a good roll.
This one's slightly better. 13, 14, 15, 21, 26, 27.
27. And similarly to the cold, it impacts him, but you can tell like he kind of absorbs some of the energy and redirects it away from him. He is also resistant to lightning damage. Okay. All right.
Well,
Yeah, that's okay. Now, as a bonus action, I believe that going into your blade song is a bonus action. So
Okay.
I believe so you can go into blade song if you like, which will up your AC.
I will absolutely do that.
All right. So yeah. I think it adds 2, but you can find it it's in the features area, so you can see it there. All right, so you go into your features, and then Albahar kind of like rises up in his area, and he's getting ready to take action. And then that's when we will cut over to Lucky. As you stepped through the archway into this area of confusion, you experienced this kind of moment where you could feel the passage of time and like looked to your left and right and saw Lucky's stretching out into the distance on either side, like getting younger in one direction and older in the other.
I don't look at the order.
Yeah.
When I notice what's happening, I don't look over there. I don't want to see that.
And there's this weird vibration that starts to happen as you see it happening to your friends. And then suddenly there's kind of this collapse of the time portal in the sense. And you kind of close your eyes and then open them. And while everyone else probably had a moment where they were like, what is going on? This is like, what situation have I found myself in? Yours is the most alien. As you
Literally.
as you open your eyes and you see before you, like, you are 1,000 feet in the air above a massive city with huge, tall, towering skyscrapers. There is an endless sea stretching out in all directions around this city, glittering in the sunlight from 2 suns, like one smaller further away and one larger. And there are magical aircraft that are moving throughout the city and kind of going from building to building. And you are on basically like a helicopter pad, but there is a sigil etched into this helicopter pad in front of you, and it is slowly pulsing with magical energy. And there's probably like 15 or 20 Vidalcan, just like Kieran, standing around this portal, one of whom is dressed far more elegantly than the other. Like he's like, you don't recognize the fashion choices here, but Lucky is smart enough to recognize money when they see it being worn.
Sure.
And he's holding like a cane with this platinum top on it. And he's bald just like Kieran is, but he's kind of glaring in your direction. And finally, he just says, well, are you going to lead the party into the portal? Or are you going to stand there looking at the skyline all day, young Kieran?
I go in the portal. I've been shamed.
All right. So you step forward, and as you're stepping forward, you kind of look down and you see like the blue skin of your hand, like of your hands and forearms. You're wearing like a kind of a smart jerkin. You have a wooden sword kind of like in a loop next to your
Oh my god, I
on your
roll my
hip.
eyes the wind sword.
And then, but you step forward, realizing in this moment, like you are Kieran. And as you step into the portal, you step, and suddenly there's a flash, and you find yourself on a similar pad, on a floating platform over a lush kind of jungle structure or canopy. And there are a smattering of individuals in front of you, all of which kind of look like humanoid monkeys. And so they're like these are hosen, but Lucky doesn't know what they are. And they're kind of wearing
those are monkeys.
Yeah, they're wearing very elaborate outfits with gold and silver jewelry. And the one in front is like holding a staff, and he kind of looks out. Oh, so I see. The great. Oh, where did my notes go? Here we go. The great Count von Riften sends a child to do his negotiating, is it?
Looking at me, yeah.
Yeah, you're the only one on the platform so far. Yeah.
Oh, unfortunate. I thought they had all followed me. That sucks. Okay. I'll kind of clear my throat and go. Well, you see, that's not really. I'm of age, definitely. So, you know, my father wouldn't send a child out, right?
They kind of they give you a look like.
By the way, this is Lucky actively trying to do Kieran's accent.
Oh no, we've had fun with that. So
I like how we all got the memo to do the accents for each other.
The leader of the Hosen kind of looks at you and just says, "A fledgling fresh from the nest is not worthy of conversation with the chief. So I suppose you can talk with me and not with him."
That should be fine. I'm Kieran. Is there something that I can refer to you as, or?
You can just call me the Maester.
Right. Nice to meet you, the Maester.
And did you bring the exchange for the artifacts that we are hoping to open trade with?
Yes, of course. Give me one moment to remember what pocket it's in. Very slowly being like, where did he put it?
Yeah. And so the only thing that you've got is you have a satchel over your back. But it seems like
then I would assume it's
extra,
the satchel.
extra light. And you go to open it and it looks quite empty.
Then I oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Josh, does Lucky know how a bag of holding works?
I think so. Yeah.
And then I have to know what I'm reaching in for. Oh no. Oh dear. I'll think really hard about what the guy just said to me and put my hand in and hope for the best.
Okay, yeah. So you're thinking about artifacts or trade for the artifacts that are there, and so you kind of reach in and you're thinking about it very carefully. Go ahead and make a wisdom check.
Okay. Holy shit, incredibly bad. Oh my god. Wait, no, actually, I'm really good at wisdom. So 13.
13, okay. So as you kind of reach in and you're thinking about trade or whatever, and you've heard stories of Kieran's life before interspersedly. And so you kind of reach in and you grab something and you pull out this massive gemstone. It is probably the size of your fist. It is kind of like a sapphire-y, purplish blue color. And you kind of raise it up and the sunlight hits it. And here you can tell, now that the sun's looking at it, you glance up, there's only one sun in the sky of this planet. So you know that you are not only in a different planet, you are on a different solar system. And
cool.
You kind of hold it up and
I don't know how much Lucky knows about like solar.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, but the celestial bodies here are very different.
Yeah, I think I catch on to that.
Yeah.
For sure.
And three of the Hosen kind of like, like immediately kind of perk up, but the Maester looks at it. A paltry offering for the chieftain's high artifacts, don't you think, young Kieran? Oh,
well, then I'll just take it back then. I motion to put it back in my bag.
No. The sapphire of the eastern seas is a good opening offering. And then finally he presents out like three artifacts of his own. And there's one that's like this gleaming necklace that like it is made of metal and it has a bright red orange stone set in the center, but the metallic has this feature where it kind of looks like the metal is on fire, like the metal is moving the way that flames do. So if you were wearing it on your neck, it would have this kind of like flame feeling to it. The second one is a crystalline chalice that looks like it would be clear, but the way it's scattering the light in this, it's like all the light that's hitting it is reflecting off in different colors in different areas off of each facet, and you can't see into the goblet itself. And the final item here is a simple deck of playing cards.
Okay. Josh.
Yeah.
Okay, two things that I'm thinking about here. One, Lucky's probably got some history of recognizing what items would be more of value than others.
Yeah.
Two, can I see if like him or any of the other like kind of people around here are like looking at one with more interest or reverence than the other?
Okay, yeah. So you can either analyze the value of the objects using Lucky's own kind of intelligence and backstory as kind of a street urchin in some ways, or you can roll an insight check on the gathered Hosen here.
Insight.
Okay, cool. So go ahead and roll insight.
18.
All right, so the Maester is very stone-faced as he's kind of looking at you, but two of the Hosen in the back are looking specifically at the chalice.
Then I yoink the chalice. I mean, I don't do that. Obviously, I don't yoink the chalice.
So you
sorry, that was worst habit. I gesture to the chalice. I think that will be a suitable trade.
So you want the wine of the astral sea chalice then, don't you? That will take more than the sapphire of the eastern seas. Anything else in that magic bag of yours?
Josh, can I insight check this man specifically to see if I'm being fucked right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
This dice is going to jail. It hasn't rolled above a 5 the entire night.
I like that dice. Get that dice a job.
No, I'm gonna use the dice Jace got me.
No, stop! Don't. No, not against me. That's not fair.
That one rolled an 8, so it's not much better. Yeah.
Yeah, when my dice are literally, I can see them. They're all over there.
Yeah.
Over here. So we're doing it. We're doing it live. That's a 20.
A 20. Yeah, so you get the sense that like the object that you're offering is definitely not valuable enough to purchase that object. Like it's not an equal trade. But you also get the sense that like you need to watch him closely because he doesn't trust that you are a worthy competitor in the art of trade and the art of negotiation.
Sure.
So you don't think he's fucking with you right now, but he's looking at you like he could easily fuck with you in the future.
Right. Yeah. Okay. We're kind of at a standoff right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I will. Okay. Then I'll kind of like tilt Kieran's bald head and I'll kind of go, well, let's see if we can find something to meet the difference. And I'll reach into the bag. I want to consciously think about an artifact that is equal of value to what
that you think the chalice is. Okay.
What in my brain like is something like, okay, if this is like half of that thing,
so you had to double it. Okay,
something
cool.
that meets the other half.
Yeah, go ahead and make another.
Kind of what I'm guessing.
Yeah,
at.
go ahead and make another wisdom check.
Okay. Please be good. That's a 16.
A 16. Yeah, okay, so you reach in and you're kind of feeling around and thinking, and you pull out. As you go to pull out, you just keep pulling because you pull out a blade in a scabbard. And the scabbard is like jewel encrusted. The blade has no cross guard. It's just it's like a hilt that goes up with a small little a small little guard to keep your hand from slipping onto the blade, but there's no like cross beam. And the head of this guard is like some kind of scarab-like creature, some kind of beetle or something, with its wings folded across its back in two different shades of gems, and it gleams in the sun as you pull it out. And now you have this blade in your hand that immediately, the moment it clears the bag and the light hits it and you're holding it, begins to glow like a fiery blue color as it kind of traces up and down the pattern. And the three hosen in the back of the maester are all like, their eyes kind of go wide as they're looking at it. And the maester kind of glances. Ah, yes, the scarab sword of the Dune Seas. Are we going to face the same outcome as the bearers of that blade once did at the hands of Count Riften?
No, I'm really just offering it to you in a trade, so I don't know why that would come up right now. And also, by the way, as Lucky was pulling out this sword, he 100% took a moment to like look at the sword, look down at the wooden sword, look at the sword, just kind of be like, all right.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So can I insight check? I'm sorry. Can I insight check this man once more to see, like, should I be offering just the sword? Should I be offering both of these things? Like, what's the read here?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. That is an 18.
You get the sense that while...
By the way, haven't rolled an above 11.
Yeah, you only beat him by 1, which is still a victory. And you get the sense that like that sword is definitely worth enough, probably for all 3 of the objects in front of you. And like Lucky knows like enough about, just from like where he grew up and what he experienced growing up, that like sometimes you lowball an offer, right? And then you probably lowball it, but less. And then you finally bring out the real offering. And like Lucky has here brought out the real offering. So like you skipped a step in the negotiation process.
I actually succeeded.
Yeah.
The whole time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so the Hosen says, yes, for the Astral Sea wine goblet, of course, we will be happy to take the sword. I think
that we could make an equal trade of all of the things you're holding to the sword. I think would very much be equivalent value, don't you think?
Perhaps 2 objects for the sword.
Well, if you want me to chop the blade in 2, I think that would make sense. But here we are.
Make a persuasion check.
I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
Quiblets get me every time.
Oh boy, oh boy.
A natural 20, Lord. Okay, so
you always got to go back to the Bible story of cutting the baby in half.
Yeah,
that's what Lucky did. There's an equivalent version of that in the Book of Bellinor.
Yeah,
so,
Jace with an Allie Beardsley 20.
As he kind of looks at it, he says, "Well, perhaps instead you would like this object." And he reaches into his own pouch. The others were presented by the hosen around him. And he reaches into his own pouch and he produces an object that I need you to roll an insight check on Kieran.
Oh, okay. That's cute.
Kieran, make a deception check for me, please.
Deception. 19.
25. You can't lie to yourself, baby.
So Lucky, you realize in a moment that like what you are seeing is not the same thing that Kieran saw in the moment. That when Kieran was standing here, he saw a different object in this hosen's hand. Lucky is seeing an object specific for Lucky.
Oh dear. Uh-oh.
And what you see is this like this jagged pick piece. It almost looks like a stained glass piece that has been removed from a larger image, and it's just kind of floating and rotating in his hand.
Yes, I think that is very fair.
As you say that, and as he's getting ready to make the exchange, you see these 3 threads kind of fly up into your vision. And the vision around you kind of turns a little reddish as one of those threads begins to stretch. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
You've messed with the natural order.
13.
13. We see one of the threads snaps in the air, and 2 remain as your vision kind of clears for a second. And the hosen,
I feel like that was one of my lives. Uh-oh.
The hosen begins to makes the exchange with you, but you get the sense, because with that reading of Kieran's moment here is like, this is not the object you came here for. It's very for you, it is definitely for Lucky, this object's really important. But the other 3 are what your dad sent you here for.
But Dad, what if I got something really cool instead? Uh-oh.
And the hosen are like, well, since we've done business with the Van Riftens and lived to see the end of the story, I suppose, we will ask you to please leave unless you have additional trading you would like to do.
I think we're probably all right for the day. Thank you for your time.
Okay.
I give a little head nod, which I feel like might be the cultural thing here.
Okay. They begin to gather their things, and they're turning to go towards, you can see a platform that's just kind of hovering off the edge of this centralized platform that they're heading towards. And as Kieran kind of turn back to the teleporter, you go to step towards the teleporter, and you see a flash as the tall form of Count von Riften steps in, his cane hitting the stand, and he puts a hand on your shoulder. Did you get what you came for then?
Yes.
Well, I think you're old enough to know the other part of the business. When a well runs dry, you shut it down. And all of the all of the individual Vidalcan that were waiting suddenly teleport in, and you see every single one pull up a magical rifle and blast towards the three Hosen, and they all hit and fall to the ground.
Not the Planet of the Apes, Josh.
The objects kind of scattering before them. And Count von Riften kind of looks over at the objects and he says, "What did you trade the sword for? You were here specifically for this." And he goes and grabs the goblet.
Well, you see, I knew you would. This was part of my plan, you see, was I knew we would come in after and do this. Obviously, I knew that. And so I got also this, and I pulled up the stained glass thing.
He looks at it. A worthless trinket. You have not learned your lesson yet. And he glances down at the wooden sword on your hip. Nothing to say for yourself.
I stand very firm in defense of Kieran's sword. I do not bow to this man.
he
my very cool wooden sword.
He picks up the sword of the dunes and he tosses it to you, and you kind of snatch it out of the air, and he says, "Something more befitting of a Van Riften."
I put that shit in the bag.
Put it back in the bag. Okay, good. Because like the moment it was in your hand, you could see the threads beginning to appear in the air, and putting it in the bag.
I know one thing about Kieran. Baby. We're not using any other fucking sword.
The threads fade away, and he kind of picks up the other objects and he says, "Add these to the tokens. You've got one more stop today. Retain the teleporters." And one of the men kind of steps up, and you can see that they're like an artificer. And they begin to like work magic over the runes and of the portals, and you can see them shifting and changing beneath your feet, realizing that you are not going back to Eviosia today. And that's where we'll cut over to Andalus. Sorry, and by that I mean Bonnie.
Not me though.
Bonnie, last we saw you were flying on top of a mechanical dragon next to what we all know as Omanira, but Bonnie doesn't know that. And you're heading back towards the camp where the training grounds are, and you're flying over, as the clouds clear below you, you can see that you're flying up above like an endless stretch of water. It seems going in all directions. But off in the distance, you see a massive, looks like a mountain ripped from the earth, gently floating through the clouds above the seas in a direction. And you seem to be heading off in that way. And Omanira kind of just says, "Well, it never gets old seeing it from the air like this."
Oh gosh, it's so big.
Well, it is an entire city, of course. Are you feeling all right?
Oh, yep, I'm just feeling peachy keen, thank you.
Well, I suppose we need to get back before the rest of the group decides that we are missing. Here, let's fly through the gauntlet on our way. Your reflexes have not been up to snuff. And you can see she kind of dives down on her winged dragon. And there are magical, like, circles flying in the air that she's kind of she weaves in and out of, and heads off into the distance as you go to do the same. And as you pass through the first one, your vision kind of blurs for a second, and you take a step and you hear the thud of your boot on a wooden platform, and you kind of look over and there's the boats next to you, the waves kind of gently lapping up against the boat here. And your partner looks at you. Corvinus, are you all right?
Well, I just had a bit of deja vu, I guess.
Deja vu? You've been mending nets your entire life. I feel like if you were going to experience deja vu, it would be nearly constant.
You might be right.
Head's always in the clouds.
What were we doing now? Were we mending the net. What were we up to?
Well, you kind of zoned out for a moment. I think I've got everything ready to go for the morning. We want to beat the weather witch says that there's a storm coming in around noon, so we probably need to get out before the sun rises.
Oh, right you are then. Let's get to it. Let's get moving.
Okay. And the way that memories work, you kind of turn to step back, heading somewhere, and suddenly, like, you blink for a second, and it's you can tell that it's morning. Like, there's a low sea fog kind of floating in. The sun is not yet risen over the horizon, but you can see that kind of purplish glow that's beginning to change the sky from eventually from this black to a blue, and then as the day rises, and you are standing by the boat. You have a beautifully packed like bento box, basically, like kind of wrapped up. Somebody has put together a meal for you to take out on the boat. And
tell me it's not shellfish.
No.
That would be a body thing, though.
It wouldn't affect.
That wouldn't carry you. It's not like your soul is allergic to
you could eat as much.
We don't know that. And I don't want to find out.
This is your one chance, actually.
Yeah, you could eat shellfish without it. Yeah.
Imagining eating a shrimp in another life.
And as you are kind of getting ready to go, you can tell that, like, you were supposed to leave already, and your friend isn't there yet.
I'm gonna go look for them. I'm gonna make sure the boat's tied off.
Okay, so you tie off the boat, and you kind of set your little bento box in the boat and get ready to go. And here at the docks, you can see like other fishermen are also getting their boats, getting ready to go. And you head back into the village, and the village like rises up onto the lift a little bit, and is just a smattering of buildings, probably 20 or 30 buildings that are overlooking the sea here, probably filled with families that have known each other for generations. And you kind of walk through the village, but then realize, like, you don't know where you're going and what house you're heading to. So what does Bonnie do?
Oh, if only there was someone to come help me take the boat out today, who was definitely supposed to be there 5 to 15 minutes ago.
Let's see. To see if I hear you. Okay. As you are, you're there, like this.
Roll for performance.
This bearded fisherman, bigger, brawnier guy, kind of walks up. Corvinus, did you lose your no good partner again?
Maybe.
There's a reason that he's not on any other sailing boats.
Well, look, he's good luck is all I'm saying. I've always made it back when he's on the boat.
Well, he's probably asleep behind the tavern if we know him.
Right, and I definitely know where that is.
I would think so. You find yourself there quite often.
Now, if I wanted to give someone from out of town directions to the tavern, how would you do it? Because I had someone the other day ask, and I had no idea what to say.
Took a little too much of the tipple yourself last night, did you?
Well, who's to say?
Make a persuasion check.
Using Bonnie's?
Yeah, Bonnie's.
Okay. Good thing I got that. And I needed it, because that's a 12.
A 12. He kind of looks in your direction, and he doesn't give you anything, but you see he like looks to one of the larger buildings not far up the street. Most of the other buildings here look like either like residential, or there's like a couple shops, and then there's like the tavern. And
big minor illusion of like a pint of ale being tipped back, like an
just
arrow
a
down.
simple board on the outside. And he kind of looks in that direction. Then he says, "Well, I suppose we're going to get all of the fresh fish. Let's see what Corvinus's boat pulls up after they're late again to the pool." And he goes off and he gets in his boat. And you can tell that, like, in the next 10 minutes, all the other boats on the dock are going to be gone. And your boat will be the last one to leave.
All right, I'm going to go get my errant fisherman in crime.
Okay.
And
so you go to the tavern, you go to the back alley, and you do find your partner there, kind of just like passed out, a mug like spilled next to him a little bit.
oh gosh, just look at you there. You've been sick all over your doublet.
He kind of looks up. What time is it?
It's time for us to be gone. Get on your feet now. And I'm gonna like get an arm under him and start walking.
Yeah, he kind of like holds his head. And he's like, okay, yeah, just get my bearings underneath me. And it doesn't take Bonnie much to know that, like, this is not the kind of person right now that you want on a boat with you. Like, they're probably more of a danger than they are a help.
Oh, all right. We've got to sober you up. And I'm going to still take him down to the docks, and I'm going to, like, dunk him in the seawater to wake him up.
Yeah, I mean, it wakes him up, but he's still clearly very much drunk.
Okay. And then I'm going to take him back.
Okay, so as you go to, like he's like, no, I'm good I'm good. I can walk on, I can get on the ship. It's fine.
No, you're in no condition to be going on the waves. I'm going to tell you that right now.
He kind of turned, he's like, okay, if you think you can handle the nets yourself.
Of course I can handle the nets myself. I know exactly what I'm doing.
Okay, as he turns to leave, Bonnie, you see these 3 threads appear in the air above you, and the vision turns red. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. Corvina's made a poor choice here.
I'm not rolling too good. That's a 10?
A 10. The thread like snaps in the air above you, and you feel yourself kind of like fall through time for a moment, and then the guy's standing there in front of you, and he's like, "Are you sure? I don't think you can handle the nets yourself."
I confess I feel like you might be right.
All right. And he kind of goes to get on the boat, and he like fully falls into the boat, and like rights himself. He's like, damn wooden loose boards. And he kind of pulls himself up and like sits upright in the boat. And he kind of looks down, and he's like, "Oh, she made a lunch for you. Did she make one for me too?"
Oh, we can share that one.
Oh, okay. Well, he begins the process of untying the boat.
This is a bad idea.
Yeah. And he's like, "Well, we're all ready if you want to push it off." But then you hear a voice like down the dock. "Daddy! Daddy!" And you see this little figure kind of running up towards you from the dock. And she like jumps up. She's like, she wraps her arms around your legs. She's like, "Okay, Dad. So what I made you dinner. I made you lunch."
Oh, and was that what I found in the boat this morning?
Yeah. So I didn't want to in the boat, Dad. You took it off the kitchen table, I think.
That's right. Oh, I forgot.
Are you okay?
I am just fine, sweetheart.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm gonna hug him.
Yeah. She hugs you back. And then she kind of whispers in your ear, "I think that he's still drunk, Dad."
I think you're right.
Okay. Well, are you gonna be safe out on the water?
we're not going to be gone long. We're going to come right back. We're just going to catch a little bit and then just come on back. There's going to be a storm later.
Okay, well, Grandma Ethel said that she could help me pick flowers, and then we're gonna make you a lunch. So when you get back, you'll be okay.
Okay, I can't wait to have it, sweetheart.
Okay, and she kind of gives you a kiss on the cheek, and then she kind of looks over and she says, "Take care of my dad, okay?" And as she turns to leave, your partner looks at her and he goes, he says, "I'll take good kind care of him, Dottie. Don't worry about it." And then as you go to step onto the boat, you step onto the boat and your vision changes, and you are flying through the final ring of the challenge to get back, and you're up heading towards the flying area off in the distance, and you see several other flying winged creatures, these metallic dragons with other light forged atop them, kind of winging around in the sky, and you can join them, and you look out and you just see there's 12 or 15, all look very similar to Andalus, and in some way you can feel like Andalus felt so a part of all of this was. As you're there. And then your vision kind of shifts as memories do, and you're flying over woods now. There's a forest below you. So just like the ocean was replaced with a wide expanse of trees. And there's two other light forged here flying with you. And the Omenir is not anywhere around, but you can tell that some time has passed. And one of them looks over at you and says, well, she said that his craft went down somewhere around here. Do you think anything could survive long in this forest down here?
I think it would depend a lot on the resourcefulness of the individual. Gosh, I'll tell you what, every time I'm flying, it's like I'm doing it for the first time.
Well, I hope he's okay. I mean, if a god couldn't kill him, you don't think a forest could, do you? And then we'll cut over to Ravik. You are in, where's my notes? You're in Lucky. Yeah, so you leave the chamber with the sleeping Bertrand, just having realized that you saved his life, pocketing the letter that he was writing to Iris Corday. And you follow Yorian up the stairs. And the last thing that you remember seeing in the last weeks was Yorian's unlocked the chamber where this device was being kept. He stepped in and activated a trap, and Yorian is currently lying dead at your feet. He's making death saving throws.
Josh told me about what happened, and in last game, and I went. He was like, and Yorian got body rocked by 7 arrows, and I said, "It sounds a character."
So as soon as the arrows kind of hit him,
couldn't have happened to a nicer guy.
Yeah, it's enough to take him to 0 hit points immediately. He's making death saving throws in front of you. You can tell
that
the
Family Guy death pose. That's what I'm imagining.
So what do you do, Ravik?
Run over as quickly as I can, and I'm going to heal the strapping young man that's got aerated.
Okay. So you rush over and you are trying, you go to access magic in the way that Ravik accesses magic, and you're struggling to find that connection to the magic. I need you to make a wisdom check.
A wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to recall how I've seen.
Lucky connects to magic in a different way than anybody else.
And what he does when he's using magic, and then that's a 13 on the dice plus something. I'm so bad about this. 13 plus some numbers.
What's your wisdom?
I have no idea because I haven't pulled up.
Roddy.
Wisdom's +1, so.
Okay, so 14. So you go to kind of access the magic, and as you reach and you feel something that seems like some kind of magical energy or something, and you're like, okay, well, I'm just going to grab that, and you go to kind of start releasing it towards Yorian, and your vision goes red as those 2 threads, I think you had 2 threads remaining, begin to appear in the air above you, as you're going to make the decision to heal. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Just a regular con. Advantage. I'm kind of making a concentration. Is it a concentration thing?
Mm-hmm. No, it's just a Constitution saving throw. Mm-hmm.
Ooh, oh, that was a D10. I don't know why I thought that was a D10.
That is.
Ooh, that's a 9. On the
So one of the threads snaps in the air above you, and you kind of pull back for a second, and you're like, you're looking at it. It's like, this man is bleeding out. He just failed one of his death saving throws. And like, apparently, like, there was you rushed over to immediately heal this individual, and that's not what happened. What do you do?
What? Based off Ace, your face is killing me.
I'm just having a great time this session, actually. I'm just enjoying everything that is happening this session.
Right.
Especially because I'm going last, it means it's gonna be fucked when it gets to me. So, everything
it's
is
so coming.
God. Can I try to
so you're like looking at him, you're looking at the treasure room beyond. There are several objects here in the treasure room, and Yorian is unconscious.
Is anything like it would be useful to heal a person?
Make a perception check.
Perception. Gotta warm the dice up sometimes, you know. You just start them off cold. Okay. An 18.
Yeah, so there's several like objects here. You can tell that like the one that like there's one object that's placed on a place of importance. It's a looks like a recreation of a sculpture. It is a robed figure with like a completely faceless face, but it is given a place of importance in this chamber. But there's several other magical objects in the area, including one that immediately catches not Lucky's eye, but Ravik's eye, as like floating on one of the shelves is this piece of colored glass that's just kind of floating in place there.
Do I recognize that, or does it?
It doesn't look familiar, but like the moment you see it, you're like, that looks really important. But to Ravik, not to Lucky.
Oh.
Like you get the sense that Lucky is looking at something different than you are.
Okay. Am I selfless enough to ignore it?
That is another failed death saving throw from Yorian.
Okay. I'll move into the room and see if there's anything in there that trying to tap into Lucky's knowledge will help with healing or stabilizing.
You have all the power to heal and stabilize that you need to do.
Oh, I don't need to.
You have the magic, like it's there.
Okay, I'll try to heal him again.
You're looking at this chamber. There's all these objects here, and then Yorian is here. He's got about 6 more seconds before he makes another death saving throw.
you want me to do the Ravik thing and grab the object that looks interesting?
You reach out and grab it. Yeah.
Sure.
For a second, you like reach out to grab it, and it's like for a second you see like Ravik's hand reach out and grab this object, and then pull back. And like just a split second later, you see Lucky's hand reach out and grab something completely different and pocket it. But you have this object in your hand. That's a success on a death saving throw. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna. The object that Ravik picked up. Do I recognize it?
No, it's like it's a piece of glass. It looks like a piece of a stained glass window that's been broken apart.
All right, I'll just put it in my pocket and then go back to Urian.
Okay, and you kind of connect to that magic inside of you, and you push it into Urian, and his eyes open. See, I told you this is why we brought you along.
Oh, I lost you there for a moment. How are you feeling?
Like I got shot with like a dozen fucking arrows.
You got shot with like a dozen fucking arrows, yeah.
Yeah. Did you? He kind of looks at the chamber. Did you grab something already? And he kind of lifts himself up.
Take a look. I mean, I'm not sure if I can identify all the things inside.
He kind of reaches out and grabs the device, and he says, I don't know why Simona wants this. It looks like a pretty pathetic piece of shit, doesn't it? And he's kind of holding that object, that sculpture of the robed figure with no face up to you.
Some things should speak to people. What does this look familiar? And I'll show him the shard of glass.
Jace, what did Lucky grab in this chamber?
What a question, Josh.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a leading question, or is this like a legitimately?
No, it's like what do you think Lucky would have, like, instead of immediately healing Yorian, what do you think Lucky would have grabbed before he healed Yorian?
I think it would be something related to the statue that is here.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would probably be something that otherwise would have seemed unremarkable unless you knew what you were looking for.
Okay.
So some kind of like tablet or like kind of like hard like runic thing that is in a language that Lucky knows and would understand some of the significance of, if not directly knows what it says.
Okay, I can run with that. So you grab something.
I'm trying to lay down something. I think you're picking up what I'm laying down.
Yeah, you grab something from the shelf, and so Ravik, you hold up this stained glass piece, and Yorian just looks at it and goes, "Always just collecting symbols of Bellinor, are we?" And he turns and runs out of the room to leave, to clear the space. You're looking at something that is not a symbol of Bellinor. You're looking at this stained glass piece, but that's what he saw when he looked at it. Lucky, in your inventory, you will find it's not there, right? A symbol of Bellinor that has been defaced with writing from someone, so. But Yorian has turned to leave. What do you do, Ravik?
I will one last glance in the room. See if anything else stands out.
I mean, there's tons of valuable objects here, but nothing that seems to bear any kind of importance.
Yeah, I'll still follow behind him.
Okay. As you step through the doorway, with the object in hand, suddenly, like, your vision clears, and you are stepping through a marble arch, the hedge behind you. You are Ravik again, stepping into a clearing. There is a small chapel in the clearing in front of you. there's a doorway, and there is a broken window frame in the door. But there's light shining from inside, and you can tell that it is broken pieces of stained glass.
Oh. I approach.
With the object in hand. It's hard to see like where it would fit in here without all of the other pieces of the puzzle, but you can start kind of looking at that as we go to Andalus.
Yay.
So a mysterious Herringon figure, darker brown skin, wearing like armor, a cloak over one shoulder, had just walked up to Bonnie and said, Bryn, so good to see you again.
Do I know ya? Nope, that's not my name either. Nope.
It's a very interesting question to ask family, isn't it?
Oh my god, are you like my brother or something? That's crazy. She never told me she had a brother. And like turned off to the side. She never told me anything.
He kind of like looks at it, like he kind of reaches out and taps your forehead a little bit, and he just says, "You've been living among the bumpkins for too long. It's time for you to have a reawakening, as it were. Your faked death has been somewhat of a problem for our community."
Oh, well, if I faked my death, I don't think I wanted you to find me. Nope,
Well,
don't think so.
How fortunate that you didn't kill all of the raiders who came with you then. They told stories, but no one believed them.
Oh, wow, I'm processing a lot right now of what you're saying to me.
Well, let's go then. And he kind of reaches in his pouch and he, grabs an object and he tosses it in your direction. And he's throwing something to you that as it flies through the air, you can tell that Andalus is seeing that it is something, but it's not what he actually threw to Bonnie. And you grab it, it's a piece of stained glass.
Mm.
Are you coming?
Yep, I'll be right there. And I follow him.
Okay. As you begin to take steps away from the house, your vision goes red.
Okay.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
Yep. Ooh, 15 plus.
Oh.
19.
Okay. It doesn't break, but you kind of go back for a second as he's looking at you expectantly. Are you going to come with him?
No. I have a whole life here that seems to mean a lot to me. And I won't go. You seem real sketchy and I don't want to go with you.
He looks at you and he says, well, then I suppose that we need to make the stories true then, right? And he pulls a sword and points it towards Bonnie. And he's going to make an attack.
Oh my god.
It's a natural 20.
Oh shit. I'm getting my shit rocked now.
Bonnie, you take 18 points of slashing damage from the first strike.
Does she mark that or I mark that?
Bonnie's marking it.
Oh,
It's
okay.
Bonnie's
Oops.
body. It's your mind.
Yeah.
18.
Sorry.
18. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And as he goes to make another slash at you, you see, like, he moves quickly. He's a trained fighter. He knows exactly what he's doing. He has a wicked blade. It is, you can tell there's magic to it. It's something. As he's going to make the second strike, you just see two arrows seemingly blossom out of the side of his neck as they shoot right into where his carotid artery, or this isn't the carotid artery, that's in your leg, isn't it? What is that? The jugular vein.
No, That is the carotid
That
artery.
is the carotid. Good. Okay, yeah.
And it's the jugular vein
and the carotid.
artery.
Good. Like right where the carotid hits, like right in the clavicle. These two arrows just seem to blossom as as blood suddenly begins to pour out of his throat, and he kind of swings and like drops the sword down as he like pounces or moves towards you a little bit. He says, "You knew we were coming. You were prepared."
Don't fuck with my family.
And he collapses down.
I don't think she said fuck. I don't think so.
Red fills your vision.
I may have gotten off the script a little.
And as he collapses to the ground, you turn and you see standing on the roof of the hovel, Harold kind of puts his bow down, like to his side, drops it. Like you are seeing the face of a man who's never killed anyone before.
God.
And he just killed this person to save Bonnie. He's like frantically signs at you. He kind of hops off of the top of the roof and he's signing in your direction.
I don't understand. I'm sorry.
He shakes his head and he kind of like points at the person and he signs again a little more angrily.
He was my brother? It doesn't make any sense.
He takes a step back when you say that and he turns and goes inside the house.
What happened to her?
What do you do?
I think she would try to follow him inside.
Okay. You follow. You step through the door, and for a moment, like you see, it's almost like Bonnie leaves you and steps into the room, and she begins to sign back to Harold. And you've watched Bonnie sign to Harold before. It is rough. It is not as fluid. Like this is someone who's just learned or is learning signing. Mm-hmm. And you can see like the blood smattered on her face, but they're having a conversation that you cannot hear or you cannot understand. And then you take another step and your vision opens and you see Ravik standing in front of you in a clearing with this chapel in front of him. And he's holding a similar piece of glass in his hand as you carry.
Did you just have like a weird therapy moment inside someone else?
That's precisely what happened, actually. So I take it you learned a bit more about our companions as well.
I saw some really personal stuff about Bonnie, and I think it's gonna be really awkward to try to bring it up.
Yeah. I think Lucky had a little...
You got lucky?
I got lucky.
No.
I think he had kind of a fling with a bad boy, which
What?
I guess would make sense why they're so apprehensive to give me a chance.
Oh, that makes so much sense. That it all.
What lessons did Ravik learn from this?
Wow.
Of course, when I look back
I
at
cannot
myself,
believe that is the takeaway.
I know.
And Angel's just like, yep.
Can we give him inspiration if he doesn't have it?
Yes.
I don't think he's used his inspiration, but there you go.
Wow. That sounds.
Oh, that's incredible. I love
not
that.
like what happened to me, but it's equally profound, I guess.
very insightful, very insightful.
Right. Do you know how much time has passed? Do you have anything on you?
It's hard to
A
tell.
pocket sundial.
A pocket sundial. Like, too bad it's nighttime.
There's watches in this universe. I'm a fucking robot.
There's watches. Yeah.
Oh my god, that has to be like a major export of Noavia, right?
Yeah,
Like, come
Yes.
on.
There's an entire district of Noavia called the Clockwork. Like, yeah.
But I think ironically, I don't have like a watch.
Is there any way for us to tell how
Andalus
time
can
has passed?
like.
I think
So,
I can, but I think I
I'll
have
just-
internal stuff.
Yeah, I will
but
put
it
this out.
Yeah, you have a built-in clock.
I'll put this out there. There is literally a feat called the observer, not the observer feat, whatever feat that it is, that basically lets you know roughly what time of day it is at any given point, as long as you can see the sky. I feel like it is a component of the masterwork of Noavian artificery that when someone graduates from the artificing college, their final exam is to create a clock.
Sure.
Like Abel not only did that, the Lightforged all have that clock inside of them.
But did it get like messed up in this kind of thing, or
Yeah,
can
so
I accurately feel how
you
long
can't
it's been?
judge you can't judge if it's accurate to the world outside, but you get the sense that like as far as when you were stepping into the portal to when you stepped out, you get the sense that like maybe 5 hours has passed.
No, but like how long of the Sphinx time where she was like, "You have 2 hours to live, dumbass." Like,
Yeah.
How long into that are we going?
Oh yeah, she said you have hours to live, right?
Yeah.
So you get the sense like that was probably like if 5 hours passed while you were inside of Bonnie, then you are like it's been like 6 hours.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Well, I hope everyone hurries the fuck up.
Yeah. With that in mind, we cut to Lucky. As your father takes the other objects, not your father, but Kieran's father, takes the other objects and throws them into your pack. And then he kind of looks at it and he says, "Can I trust you to use the blade if you need to? Or should I send one of them with you?"
Oh, I'll use a blade.
Well, make your father proud then.
Okay.
You step into the portal.
Love you.
Like you say that as
The bond stretches.
I feel like of all of the choices, that is a red flash appears in the air. A thread stretches. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay, well, maybe we do things for jokes sometimes. And it's maybe we do things.
It's a funny
Okay.
joke, but yeah. Okay, I'll give it to you. You still have
I don't think Lucky would have said that.
No,
I'm
but
gonna be
it's so
honest.
funny, yeah.
I think there is literally no way Lucky
Yeah.
would have said that.
That's good. So you turn and step into the portal as you watch as like Count von Riften just turns, goes, he's examining, he's letting his men examine the Hosen. And the last thing you hear him say is like, there was nothing else of value on this planet anyway. As you step into the portal and you are teleported into another location. And there's a man like tied up on the ground. And he kind of looks at you. Huh. Couldn't even do his own dirty work. He had to send his son.
Is there anything like identifiable about this man? Like, does he seem like he knows Kieran knows this man, or he just knows of
Yeah, I mean, he
Van Riften and that this is a
recognized you
baby.
immediately. Make a investigation check.
Okay. That is a 10.
10. Okay. The only thing that you notice is that he has a cloth band around his arm. He's not wearing a uniform, but like there's like that, and there's a symbol on it. And you've seen the symbol before. All of the men that were traveling with your father had the exact same symbol on their arms.
Oh, okay. I will unsheath the wooden sword. And can Lucky insight check what he knows of Kieran in this moment?
You can make an insight
to
check
be
on Kieran.
Is there any way Kieran actually did this?
Yeah, you can make an insight check on Kieran.
21.
21. Kieran, with the 21, if put in a position where you know that your father is asking you to kill somebody who sold company secrets, would Kieran have killed him? Or would he have released him and found some way to hide that from his dad?
Kieran has his rules about one-on-one combat. And so, and the honor that goes with that. So I think he would split the middle and give the guy a fighting chance and challenge him to a one-on-one.
Yeah.
And if this is meant to be, he will win, but it will be an honorable death for the person versus him murdering him.
Yeah. With the 21, you know Kieran enough. You've seen him do that before.
Oh my god. And Lucky immediately is like, oh fuck this. And I is there another sword in here?
No, but the guy's just his hands are tied loosely, behind his back where he just can't untie them himself.
Okay, I use the I get the ropes off of him.
Okay.
And I will go.
There is another sword here.
Okay, yeah. I throw that sword at him.
It's in your
and I go,
backpack. It's in your pack.
Oh not the cool sword.
That's
what?
the other sword here.
Oh, that's so unfortunate. But I would do it, wouldn't I? If I was Kieran.
Kieran would, yep.
Yeah, I throw him the really cool sword.
Okay.
And go, then you know what we'll have to do.
He kind of snatches the sword out of the air and he kind of looks at it. You are such a strange little one. Your father has uses for things, as long as they are useful. I pray, Master Van Riften, that your usefulness never runs out. And he goes to unsheath the sword, and you see, the moment he begins to unsheath it, you see the blade itself looks like it is made of liquid glass. And then he slams it back into the scabbard, and poof, he teleports out of the space and is gone.
Okay. L.
But there's no this is canon. This
no,
is
because that's what happened. Yep. Okay.
Kieran's honor would have led him into this situation. Mm-hmm.
Yep. And my honor will cause me to walk out of this room proudly.
Okay, you turn around and you go to the teleportation dais, which your father has retuned. Now it's going to take you back home. You go to step on it. That glowing object in your hand, and you step on the dais, and when you open your eyes, you're standing in front of a chapel with Ravik and Andalus there, also looking at the door that has this opening on it.
You made it back.
Yeah.
Did make it back, yes.
Who did you get? Please not me. Please.
No, I got Kieran.
Oh, so cool. Oh.
No, it was not cool. It was highly disturbing, actually.
Oh.
Living out the life of an alien. Would we use the term alien?
I don't think so.
I don't think I should. I don't think I should.
No, we should only talk about it if we all agree to talk about it.
Well, I was just gonna say I would talk to Kieran about it.
Oh yeah, definitely Kieran, not all of us who are very curious and would like to know. That's fine. No, I know. That's fine.
Right?
I
Go ahead. Yeah.
I will say, you can tell that the way Lucky is positioned in this conversation is entirely facing Ravik. Like, barely making eye contact with Angela's side.
Yeah.
He's like fidgeting. He keeps like trying to say something to you, and when you don't say anything, he's like, "Cool, right? Awesome."
Yeah, Ravik, you do notice that Lucky is mostly addressing towards you.
I don't think Lucky is trying to hide it at all.
No. Yep.
Ooh.
I just turn and pretend like I'm looking at the stained glass really intently. Oh, wow. Crazy.
Is everything okay? Lucky, or did you come out unscathed for the most part?
I think when this is resolved, there's a conversation I'll need to have, but that can wait. And then I look at Angela's side.
Yeah.
He's like looking straight. He heard what you said, but he's looking like straight ahead.
Yeah.
Not making eye contact.
Then we go to Kieran. The battle rages between Ravik and between Albahar, and there is a moment where, like, beaten and bruised, he's beaten and bruised as well. In your blade song, you release the final attack, and Albahar kind of falls back, and he kind of lands on his throne, and he then grabs something next to his throne, and he holds it up. You can take me, Ravik, but your mother goes with me when I go. And you can see in his hand, like about to be crushed, is a contract. So, a final blow? Or do we renegotiate the terms of our agreement?
What's your offer?
He leans back, reaches down, grabs another scroll like the one he's holding. Same as before. But your mother can go. And it's floating through the air in your direction. What do?
I accept.
You go to grab it, and the moment you grab it, you touch it, the shape of the object changes. It is no longer a scroll in the air. It is an object that it's kind of an elongated stave that has a odd kind of heading piece at the top, and what appears to be like a siphon or a funnel. The moment you grab it, it stabs into Ravik's arm, and suddenly you feel like not blood, not lifeblood, not something like that pouring out of you, but something else is being sucked into this object. And as you go to react, natural inclination of any wizard is to react with a cantrip or a spell. And as you go to throw these magics, you can feel that energy being sucked out of your body and into this object. And then when the last spell slot is gone, when the last knowledge of a spell is gone, your hand releases and the object flies through the air and back to Albahar. Well, you accept, do you? Oh, we're going to work beautifully together. And he kind of looks at at Ravik's mother. She's not quite worth my time anymore. And he just waves a hand and she vanishes from the chamber. But you've gotten too big for your own self, so let's take you down a couple notches, shall we? And you just feel something about Ravik changing as Albahar now holds in his hand a level 12 equivalent wizard's knowledge and power, and you can feel him turn that against Ravik, and his body racked with the pain of that energy being returned to him. You can feel something shattering within you. And make a perception check for me while this is happening.
Perception, that's natural 13 plus 5, 18.
Yeah, in the pain of feeling like a level 5 spell energy slamming into you as he's trying to like beat Ravik down into submission in this moment, you kind of look and you just see like there's a smattering of objects on the ground here. Like Albahar surrounds himself with wealth, but there's one that catches your eye. Like, and you can tell that like when Ravik saw it, it was probably just like a coin or a gem, but you see a piece of glass kind of like floating in the water next to you, like catching the light, and it's kind of a bluish color, like looks like a piece of stained glass that is separated from a larger entity.
I will grab it.
You grab it, and then as like you can tell that in this moment, like Albahar brings Ravik to the point of death, and then brings him back to life. Does it again, brings him back to life, does it again, brings it back to life. And he expends all of the energy of that. And and then the last thing before like you black out for a final time, as he's done, he just says, "Beautiful thing about you wizards. All they have to do is sleep, and all of it comes back again." And he leaves the chamber, leaving Ravik there alone in this massive throne chamber with the decision that he made. And when your eyes finally close, Kieran, you take a step forward and you are in that hall or that clearing, looking out at Lucky, Ravik, and Andalus, who are all in the chamber as well.
And I see the door with the stained glass missing.
Yes, and there's now 4 pieces in this space, and you can tell that there's only
go up
one.
to the door and try and figure out where mine fits.
Yeah, and so Kieran kind of walks past you all, doesn't really say anything, and he begins to finagle with the doorway.
Well, obviously, you discern something little walkabout. I'll come up to and see if I can figure out where my little piece fits as well.
Mr. Rifton, where did you go? Where did you go? Please tell me it wasn't mine. Please tell me it wasn't mine.
I just side-eye Ravik.
Oh.
Ravik's not looking in. Yeah, would Ravik catch it, or are you trying to hide it from Ravik?
I'm not trying to hide it. But I'm not.
You're telling me.
I'm not trying to hide it, but I'm not trying to make it obvious either.
Yeah.
Sure.
It was something I would address with Ravik later at a one-on-one.
Oh. That means Bonnie. Oh. I'm just waiting for her to come back.
With that, we cut to Bonnie. You're kicking so you're flying over the forest, but then as like this news that like you're looking for someone who's apparently fallen in the forest, or their craft went down in the forest or something, make a perception check as you're scanning the forest here.
Okay. There we go. That's a 22.
22. Yeah, you're kind of scanning around, and like it's a massive forest that stretches in all directions. There's one incredibly large tree at the center of the forest, but other than that, it's kind of a general canopy all heading in all directions. And off in the distance, probably like a mile away, maybe 2, you see a column of smoke rising out of the forest canopy. And that's the only kind of discerning characteristic in the area.
Definitely gonna check out that column of smoke.
Okay, so you kind of point in the direction.
There's a crash involved. There's probably fire involved.
The other 2 go, and the one goes, he's always flying too hard and fast with the new devices, so hopefully he's okay in this one. And you guys start making your direction in that way. And the last thing you see here, flying over the Deepwood Forest, something, and you're not sure what it was, hits the bottom of your vessel. And you're thrown off of this metallic dragon as you see it scattered into 100 pieces in the air and it's kind of falling out of the air. And one of the other Lightforged just says, Asphodel, as theirs gets slammed as well, and they are scattered, and you see that the blast hits them, and they are decomposed and mismade in this moment, all of their component mechanical parts separated. The third one happens as well. And like, as Andalus, you're falling through the air towards the canopy floor, and you're not sure what happened, but you black out. And when you open your eyes, you are on open seas. The nets over the boat, ready to haul in a load and see what you got. The sun has risen and it's peeking over the horizon. Corvinus, you want to help me haul this in? I think I've got my legs back around me.
Oh yeah, sure thing. I had another one of those moments, you know. We should probably be getting back home now soon, shouldn't we?
No, yeah, we've got to take in the load though. And he starts pulling at the nets, and it kind of motions for you to grab the other side, and he's pulling as well. You pull up it's a smattering of fish. Like, you can tell these nets are meant to catch, dozens of fish, and you probably have like half a dozen, maybe 7 or 8 in your nets. And he kind of looks at it. What do you think is causing this?
Should the holes in the net be smaller? Maybe they're swimming right out through the holes there.
If there's something that either of us know, it's how to make a good net, Corvinus.
Sure thing.
He kind of pulls it up, and he takes the fish and kind of tosses them into a bucket on the vessel. Well, I'll turn the rigging around. You might as well see what Dottie decided to make for your lunch.
I'm going to open it up.
See if it's worth sharing with me. You go to open it, and as you kind of undo the wrapping, which was carefully done, like, you open, and there's a box, and you go to open the box, and there's no food inside of this box. There is a single piece of glass. And as you look up at your friend, beyond him to the horizon, the sun is suddenly gone. A cloud, something hiding it. But you've never seen a cloud this dark before. And you've never seen one moving so fast or so large, covering from the ground to a mile high as it washes over the ocean towards you. And the last thing that Bonnie sees in Corvinus is the veil overtake his ship in the middle of the ocean. And when you open your eyes, you step into this clearing, and you see your 4 friends standing in front of a chapel, each also holding not a piece of stained glass, because now that all 4 of you are here, the image of the glass begins to take shape. Each of those pieces was a piece of you. And when you put the pieces together on that chapel door, we see that because time works the way it does, that you've always known each other because that was destined to be. That in this space, Indira's Confusion knew that the 5 of you would rebuild this door. As you slot the pieces into place, and you hear a click as the door unlocks.
Right then, in we go.
Bonnie, are you all right?
We're gonna talk about this later, right? Like,
Yeah, we don't have enough time,
No,
honestly, to
we've
like
got
get into
stuff
all
we
of
need
it.
to do. We've got plenty
yeah.
of time to talk about this.
And
later.
we're gonna each talk to the person we were
Yeah, that's probably
separate from everyone else.
Oh,
that's
did
probably
you
for the
all
best.
did you all have someone?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
right. Let's just go inside. Let's go right.
As you walk in, it is a simple religious chapel. There's a shrine to the Nine here. And Lucky, you are interested by it because it is a true shrine to the Nine. Like you are accustomed to
Nice.
seeing how most of those shrines were changed or modified after the subversion to remove
Actually, wait,
Caiaphas.
I hate this.
Yeah.
Sorry. Walk that back. I hate this
Yeah,
place.
this shrine has existed longer than the subversion. So
This shrine
yeah.
sucks.
And there's one individual sitting in a pew at the center, and there's candlelight surrounding, and she's just, but then if Caiaphas comes out of the hole, then he's going to eat Bellinor, and then the ticket takers, and then they will release the primordial, and then and you can tell
I
that
think
like
Lucky. Oh, sorry.
oh no, you can just see that she's as much as like the fear from everybody has been that she's controlling what's happening in Tuthalimus's lair, she has lost herself to the powers of time within Tuthalimus's lair, and she's now uncertain what era of time she's currently sitting in.
This is what Lucky does. I do not look for anyone else's like approval of what I'm about to do here. I walk towards her. I grab her by the shoulders. I slap her in the face. And it's not like hard. Like Lucky's strength is a 0. Like we're just trying to like jolt her out of whatever this is. And I say, wake up and stop this.
Make an intimidation check.
This isn't right.
yeah.
And I will cast Calm Emotions, actually.
Oh, so good. You don't need to make an intimidation check. I slap calm emotions into you.
I slap Calm Emotions into you.
Calm the fuck down.
I slap the panic attack out of you.
And
Hey kids, here's a good tip for someone having a panic attack. Just slap them in the face.
Yeah.
There you go.
It worked for George Patton.
It did. The crystalline face kind of turns to the side. And then she kind of like looks up at you, like that blank expression that the simulacrum have. She looks at you. I've seen you. I've seen you in places. I've seen the one that you walk beside. Where are we now?
I just stand her up. Like I'm not gentle with this person.
Okay.
I mean, like I'm not like mean, but I'm not like you've seen Lucky take time with the other ones to like calm them down and like speak gently to them. Not happening with this person.
Okay.
This version. And I will flip her around and I will point at Indula's site and go, that one is on death's door because of what you did to Thuthalius's mates. So I need you to go back, reconnect with your real self, and get the fuck out of here so my friend will live.
If it's not too much trouble. Like no rush.
Endless, shut up.
No, actually, there really is a rush.
Yeah.
So.
Annals, as you're talking, you could like feel like gears catching, and she says, well, let's say, make a group intimidation check then.
I can help with this.
Yeah. I was to give it with advantage because of Lucky's actions, but who would you like to helm your intimidation check?
I already rolled.
You already rolled. Okay.
So,
yeah. So Lucky with advantage with the whole group backing you there.
23, baby. I rolled a 19.
She kind of shakes her head a little bit. I do not know how long the effects will last, but okay. To save your friend, I cannot reverse whatever happened here. That would take Tuthalimus. And she kind of waves a hand, and the entire chapel vanishes. And at your feet is a rune. And the only thing that's left is that stained glass. And you can see like the one that had Lucky shifts, the one that had Ravik shifts, the Andalus one, Kieran, Bonnie, they all shift and they take a different shape and form until they are a symbol of Tuthalimus that locks into the center of the rune. And the entire maze shudders as the 12-foot form of Tuthalimus like flies out of the air and lands here. Well, you did good work. Put that one away before she regains control, will you? Andalus.
Get out the hole.
Yeah, get out the hold.
Extra dimensional space.
You changed it to hold. Yeah.
Yeah, hold. Thank you.
Looks at Andalus. You. It holds out a claw in your direction. Do you go towards?
Yeah, and I
Take
think
it.
when I do, it's like you start to like really see like his legs catching
Yeah.
and like
Mhm.
tough to walk.
Like she reaches out to claw, you kind of reach out and touch, and you all watch as like Tuthalimus, this kind of grayish black sphinx with the beautiful kind of mane of hair like blowing in the wind, suddenly turns white as the entire power and energy of time surges through her. And you feel like a localized moment where things are being reversed and changed. And you've seen Tuthalimus at different forms, but now with her maze back fully in her control at the center of her lair, the amount of power that this Sphinx contains, Ravik, knowing that this is the power that's hunting your mother. She releases a final direction in Andalus, and Andalus like lifts into the air, and you all just watch as every single piece of Andalus kind of separates into component parts, and years of grime and dust and wear and tear fly away in a filtered storm as then Andalus is reconstituted back into his total self, fresh and clean and new, and about 100 years younger. Wow.
Can I be
You ever
next
had,
in
like,
line?
Have you ever had like a really good massage?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm afraid,
it's like that.
Ravik, I'm afraid that your human frame or your half-elven frame could not handle the taking apart, but I'd love to see you try. Let's get you back to Indira, shall we? And suddenly, like, time shifts, and you guys are standing at the entrance to the hedge, looking out. Indira's campus spread out below you on the bottom of the hill, the tower to your left, the hedge behind you, stretching off into the distance, and just Tuthalimus's voice following you. I'll see you at breakfast then. And that's where we'll pick up next week.
Ugh.
Oh my God.
Yay!
Yeah.
Secrets revealed.
I'll be right
Goodness.
back. Hang on.
Secrets revealed. No.
Sequence revealed.
Kieran's father is not a nice man.
Kieran's father.
Yeah.
Kieran's father's a
No.
businessman.
I think I said he's
He's a
an
capitalist.
asshole.
He's a capitalist businessman.
Oh, I liked those. I liked those monkeys.
The Hosen.
I
Yeah.
liked them. They were fun.
I love
Right
that
makes
the
right.
I love that the Hosen exist in whatever the Starjammer, but they don't exist in like regular D&D books. I think the Hosen should be everywhere.
I
And the
think they
gift.
should too.
And the
They're
Gith, yeah.
great.
Yeah. The Gith are like that too.
Did they make the they didn't make the monster manual?
They're a playable race in Starjammer.
Spelljammer.
Spelljammer, yeah. Starjammer. that's like
Oh, they
the
didn't put them in the new monster manual.
No, they're not
Hey,
they're not-
stars. Look at this. Wow.
Ooh, that's cool. They're not a playable race in 2024.
It's
yeah.
good for me to stim with. That's what it's good for.
Yeah.
I was not prepared for Child Dottie. That got
Oh,
me like.
Baby
all right.
Dottie.
That was evil, Josh. That was evil.
I will tell you that like when I realized that we were gonna do this episode, I was like the only thing like I knew that the reveal of Corvinus and But like, here's the thing: that didn't kill Corvinus. You don't die with the going into the veil. But the only thing that I knew is that we would get the reveal that Dottie was Corvinus's daughter.
Oh my god, crazy.
Stop it.
Because and that specifically came about because I asked Ace, where did Dottie's name come from? And Ace goes, Andalus doesn't know.
Yeah, he didn't even thinking of anything.
Yeah.
That's so fun.
So good.
It's
And name
great. I love
reveal,
it.
Asphodel,
Asphodel.
which I just figured out during the session. So
Yeah. Well, I asked you about it last week.
I forgot to message it to Josh.
That's okay. Yeah.
What was Asphodel?
That's Andulocyte's like name before
Was
he got
the
this
name before? Yeah.
when
Yeah,
he
that was the name that was yelled
White
out.
Torch.
It was just a little brief moment. Yeah.
Yep. When he was with Indira, or not Indira, with Amanira.
I gotta write that down.
hmm
Mm-hmm.
And looking for Abel, who apparently crashed
Yeah.
into the deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
That's
god.
Why did you?
God.
Hey, Abel, what the fuck did you do crashing in the deep wood?
The scary way to end the
It
character.
had to be a
Oh my
jetpack.
god, another version of the jetpack.
Not a battery.
they're on like type 20 by now. And they
Yeah.
still every
It's like
time
the Iron
they
Man
crash on the first couple ones.
Yeah.
He let Kaimana drive for old time's sake.
No.
Well, then they got shot down.
Yeah. Something shot them down, which probably explains
something
like
shot you down in the deep wood,
in
which
the
is
deep wood.
crazy.
Mhm.
Well, damn spiders.
Where the fuck was Callie in? What the fuck were they doing?
Yeah.
Sitting on their asses as
Mhm.
usual.
Yeah. Probably too
Maybe
far.
they were
Like,
the ones
fucking
doing the
thought.
shooting.
like Callian's like in the
They're not
edge of
that
the
good
deep wood.
shots.
Like
There's
she's
no
also
way.
like deeper. Like Andalus was deeper in to the wood.
We were fighting a big spider. There's a lot of big spiders.
There's tons of big spiders.
Callian
Yeah.
just always
There's a
fighting
lot of big
spider.
spiders.
Jordan's defense system, they just see that it's a dragon off in the distance and think it's bad.
To protect my town, I have an army of werewolf lesbians. Let's go, lesbians. Let's go, lesbians.
I love it. I love it.
They're paid handsomely.
As they should be.
So many werewolf lesbians. Where did they all come from?
Why are they all lesbians? I'm so confused.
That's what I bring to D&D, baby.
Werewolf
Werewolf
lesbians.
lesbians.
the D&D equivalent of the Sacred Band of Thebes. Just lesbians.
You've got werewolf lesbian. You've got questionable backstory sync. You know, I love it. I love it. We were like, we will not talk to anyone except the person who came here. And then Ravik already told me all this shit. And I was like, yes, we will not. Yep. No one told me anything.
And not only did we get Bonnie backstory, we got some Harold backstory
We did.
too.
That's
Yeah.
fucking crazy.
Yeah,
dude.
the only reveal there I wanted was that
Harold
Harold saved Bonnie's life by killing this person, but we still don't know who that person was.
Yep.
I don't know. Just
Oh,
that he
yeah.
was family.
Yeah,
Ugh.
or why he was
Wild.
there.
Yeah, but that was cult talk. That was cult talk right
Cult
there.
talk.
You're
Yeah.
your family?
All of the buzzwords he was dropping is I was like, cult.
Family
cult,
doesn't.
cult.
Yeah, family can mean a lot of things depending on the community. that you're
Family can
coming
mean
from.
a lot
Yeah.
of things. That guy was dropping a
The
lot
family.
of buzzwords. Yeah.
That's crazy. That
You
shit
don't
is
betray
crazy.
the family.
You don't betray the family.
And this is the most I've learned about
Oh.
Yeah.
Inside's backstory.
And we didn't get
I
anything
love
like
it.
the only thing that we got from Ravik that wasn't something that Ravik has mentioned to other people. He mentioned this too in passing to somebody is like why Ravik isn't a wizard and why Ravik's a warlock.
That's such a cool explanation for why
It's
that
very
happened.
cool.
Well, I
love
don't.
it.
Has Ravik ever told us that he was once a wizard?
He has mentioned several times to many of you.
Ravik has implied that he got deep, like
yeah.
he had more
Yeah.
power
Yeah.
at one point.
And he
Yeah.
was
He
stronger
definitely told
level
us that.
in the last game.
Yeah, we know he's been nerfed, but I didn't
Yeah.
know if it was that his class had changed also.
Yeah, and I planted that object because like the part that object already been mentioned. It's the object that was stolen from Vesutman by Ravik's mother.
Oh, so cool.
That's funny.
Is the object that can seal the power of a
That's
wizard? Yeah. Mhm.
That's so cool. Damn.
Well, I figured like it's hard to get backstories out when you live on a continent away from everybody that is there. So I wanted to give you guys an opportunity here
Yes.
to like have to wrestle with your backstories versus just having some random person from your backstory show up suddenly. Yeah.
It's a great way to do exposition. And it's not like, this is what happened to me back when.
Yeah. Well, because now you have to wrestle, you get to wrestle with like, how much do you tell beyond that? Like how much, it's, yeah.
And yeah, and how relevant is it? Like,
Yep.
And for Andulicite, like, it's like my past life. It's like, how much bearing does this have on who I am today? Same question for Bonnie.
Bonnie knows more about Andalus's past life than Andalus does at this point.
Exactly.
Ooh,
Exactly.
Yep.
No, truly.
that's a lot of responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
I also do love Bonnie being like, oh, thank God, a small child, something I know how to like
I know. I know
deal
how
with
to
and
deal
interact
with
with.
Yeah. And as a passing, as
Gracias.
as the penultimate thing, connecting with the souls and timelines of your fellow allies, and gaining some pieces of knowledge and bringing a piece of time back with you, all of you hit level 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.